Welcome to the Prime Authority, the official podcast of the Sim Madden League.
Be great. Let's be great.
Where we cover everything from sports, news, predictions, and more in our Madden Football League.
Play our game. Stay poised. Play hard, but stay poised.
And now,
here is
the voice of SML, Primetime 000.
Hello and welcome to the SML podcast. This is Prime's Authority featuring the SML Nostradamus. If you don't know it by now, every playoff time, Prime Time, and this man, this guest, the SML Nostradamus comes on and makes our playoff predictions. That is none other than Woods. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, man? Finally, after 9 seasons, I got an AFC North division title here, so I'm happy.
Hey, how does it feel to once again face Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, all those weapons in Baltimore? It's got to be frustrating.
It's just as frustrating with as with having Meats and NYT's got Dobbins almost as dangerous as Freddie Golden was last cycle. So, yeah, it's no walk in the park. I knew it wouldn't be, but man, our first game was close until about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and he scored 2 touchdowns, and then our last game wasn't close at all. I couldn't stop him.
Yeah, that's interesting you bring that up, and I think we're going to talk about MIT a little bit later in the show, but you are the AFC North champion. You can say it once more. The Cleveland Browns have won the AFC North and are playoff bound. They're going to play against the Los Angeles Chargers, the 13-3 QB stud-led Chargers. How do you think that game's going to go, and what's kind of your predictions?
Excuse me. I am going to definitely have to I'm gonna have to watch some film on that. Allen and Eckler are going to definitely be keys to stopping him, and I'm gonna say it now. I'm either stopping him and letting someone else beat me. It's gonna happen, and seeing what Herbert has as far as more interceptions than QB normally throws, I'll take my chance of having throwing it to other players and see what I can do with that.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting in the SML as our league. You've been here for a while, and I was looking at the AFC just as a whole. You have guys like Dan, Pauly, QB Stud, and Bomber all in the AFC. And one trait these guys all have in common is preparation. These guys prepare like nobody else. How do you combat that if you're not one to prepare, or is there a way to combat that?
You have to go into the game knowing that, hey, they're going to prepare. So I mean, let's go against the norm if you can, because I mean, like it or not, we're all creatures of habit. So you'll get into everyone gets into a rhythm of play calling, even when they think they're not. So if you can get away from that, maybe enough to get a 10-point lead, a 14-point lead, and then go back to do it that way. You got to catch a lot of guys like that off guard. Like, well, I know he's going to run on first down. Don't run on first down. Well, I think he's going to run here since he didn't run on first down. He's going to run on second down. Play action on second down. And I mean, you pick your spots on when to take that film study away from them and see what happens.
Yeah, and something interesting is that the AFC West was talked about as possibly the best division in SML history. So, loaded question here: Is it the best SML division that you've ever seen? And to follow up, how shocked were you when you saw that Future Empire finished 4th and ZZ actually finished ahead of him?
I'll be honest, I wasn't as shocked as I thought I'd be, because I said ZZ would shock a lot of people when the season started.
Yep.
I know a lot of people complain about, oh, he's throwing a Tyreek, he's throwing, but I mean, you use the weapons you have. He's got two guys with over, 97 speed.
Yeah.
Why not use him? He's got a good safety valve in Kelsey. Do it. And I mean, he finished. Did he play his last game?
Yeah, he just lost to QB stud. He finished 7-9.
Yeah, that's at least what number 15 pick
Yeah.
for Kansas City. That could be pretty good. So I mean, I wouldn't count ZZ out going forward. Even though I mean, yeah, his guys are going to get older, but not that much older. And I don't know how Madden's got Mahomes' contract, but I still look for ZZ to make noise.
Yeah.
Going the future, to me, the Raiders weren't a future type team, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Raiders are mainly a pass first team, and I see Future's the grinded out guy. I mean, he's got Jacobs.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jacobs is kind of back, but Jacobs is a very good back. He's got Ruggs, and Ruggs I think is leading the league in reception yards and touchdowns. So if he's a superstar, then look for the AFC West to have issues with him getting bumped up to an X factor once the Super Bowl gets played. But
yeah,
I can see that division getting really competitive, maybe around season 3.
it is interesting that you brought up
beating each other up.
Yeah, it is interesting you brought up that, and I thought that the Raiders were a good fit at the start of the cycle because of Jacobs, but just because he's a good back doesn't necessarily mean that he's futures type of back. It'll be interesting to see. He was never quite the stretch it down the field passer, but with Henry Ruggs, I think he's trying to adjust on the fly, and there might just be a transitional period. So before we get into our predictions here, let's just talk the NFC a little bit. We've had guys like Fig Newton come alive, Rowan Kuh, and obviously you have the staples, Dump, Grams, Meats, Royce is in there, Faz is the next big thing apparently. What has there been a surprise in the NFC or just in general, or have things kind of shook out as you expected?
Well, no slide on Fig, but he was a surprise because last cycle was my first time to seeing him, and if I'm not mistaken, he came in late with. Did he come in late with the Giants?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean he struggled, but that was a team he inherited. But with the Bears, he's shown flashes and he's in the playoffs, so like I can't take anything against him. But that was a surprise given what he did last cycle.
So I guess now is time for us just to kind of do what we do best on this show, on this annual seasonal podcast here, and make our predictions. And we'll keep it on the NFC. Faz has obviously got the bye week. He's 15-1. It's kind of tough to predict our wild card seat or matchups. But who do you think? There's going to be a lot of smoke right now. We're not quite sure who's where. But, it's likely going to be Meats against Rowan Kuh, Grams against Figs, and Royce against Dump. Is there just any player or any matchup you have your eye on? Or, and if not, who do you think is just going to make it to the next round out of all those guys?
Looking back on that Meats against Rowan matchup, Rowan beat Meats just 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Madden weeks, and I want to Meats is usually good about bouncing back with losses, especially when it's kind of that close to playing a person. So, I'll take Meats in that one, even though Rowan's hot, but I've played Meats a lot. I won't bet against him in the early rounds like that. We had Figs and Grams.
Yeah, it sounds like
I'll take Grams in that one. And surprisingly, and I hate to say it, because I like Dump a lot, but I'm going to take Royce in that matchup.
Yeah. So, and once again, this is a disclaimer. If these matchups are incorrect, who cares? We're predicting the guys that they're going to make it through no matter what here on the SML podcast. So, just in general, when all the smoke clears, the dust settles, who will represent the NFC come come Super Bowl 34?
I'm gonna go against the norm here, and since I'm not a part of his division anymore, I'm looking for Meats to take the mantle and make
Wow.
it to the Super Bowl.
Wow. So Meats finally gets the monkey off his back and appears in the Super
Gets
Bowl.
the monkey and gets to the Super Bowl.
Uh, AFC wise, you have myself against Bomber, you against QB Stud, and Paulie against God knows who. What's your? Well, I don't even know. We should just eliminate the seventh seed is what we need to do because apparently nobody wants it.
Yeah. Who's gonna
Who do you think's gonna kind of win in the wild card round, or what do you think the AFC Championship's gonna be?
wild card round? Can you tell me who you're starting?
Oh,
Are you sticking decent?
we'll see. I can't say.
Yeah. I can't pick you to lose 3 times to the same opponent in a season, so I'll go you against Bomber. Sorry, Bomber. My team still plays very young, and with the way QB's team is set up, it's got that secondary is out of sight.
Yeah.
I may be able to kind of get stuff here and there, but I'll take QB. Unfortunately, maybe 27 to 20,
Yeah.
and I'll take Paulie over whoever the 7th seed is, only because Paulie's playing really consistent.
So if that happened, it would likely be QB against Dan, and then myself against. Oh wait, no, it'd be myself against Dan, and then QB against Polly. Any predictions out of those games, or do you want to make an AFC champion or AFC representative prediction, or what are you kind of thinking?
I'm going to. Let's take a shocker here, only because of records. I think QB finally gets Dan and gives Dan that one loss and moves to the AFC title game.
Now that's interesting you say that because Dan's he's kind of owned QB. He's 2-0 against him this season and 1-0 against him last cycle. Dan 3-0 against QB all time in the SML.
I think QB figures it out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't prove me wrong, but I think he figures it out.
Okay. And do you buy
I
it?
say he's not watching, but I think he needs to. Even if he doesn't watch for stuff with Dan, I think he needs to watch for his own benefit to see what he could possibly do to throw Dan off of it.
Are you buying into the Dan struggling in playoffs narrative that's kind of come out over the past few months?
I mean, he only lost what? He lost NYT in the first round? Was that the first round?
It's NFC
round?
Championship game.
Oh, okay.
He's also lost to Sunday a few times as well.
Well, I guess you can buy into that, but with the exception of, well, no, because he's in the division with Sunday. I won't buy into it. I mean, everyone's here that is good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like everyone keeps calling Meats a folding chair, but they're there for a reason, so we can't discount that. But if he doesn't win this season here, I'd say he's in a bit of a slump.
Yeah. So who? Oh no, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. Who represents the AFC then?
You're killing me here because I usually always bet on the sure thing, and I'm sorry, I don't know how sure it is, but I've got Paulie and QB in the AFC Championship game.
There you go. And then it's the battle of the pervert versus the deacon. Is what we're yes. It's that'll be a good game because both guys come prepared and study. QB kind of whooped up on Paulie earlier this season. Will it be more of the same?
I think so. I think QB handles it pretty handily, maybe 30-21 or something like that, and he'll go on to play Meeks. And I think with the way QB prepares, I think he'll beat Meeks in a close one, 27.
Yeah, and that'd be kind of a fiery start to the season 1 of Madden 21. I just got a few rapid fire questions now before we get off here, as we're nearing around 16 minutes here on the show. Often talked about at some point throughout the cycle is retirement. Is this Woods' last Madden cycle with the SML? Are you considering retirement?
No.
Okay.
I just did it right there. No.
So, what do you think about the competition in the SML over the past probably year and a half?
It's getting tougher and tougher. And the guys you would quote unquote call lower tier,
yeah,
they're not getting worse; they're getting better. So it's nothing but up. I mean, some guys may say, "Oh, well, I wasn't worried about this guy, worried about that guy," but
so, and I'm gonna ask a Polly question. I'm gonna ask a Polly question here, and this is straight from the Truth Podcast. If you could mercy rule one guy, who would you mercy rule?
Who have not beaten you?
You can't say me because you already done me.
Yeah, did that. Well, I haven't beaten Dan in a while, so I'll say Dan just for the sake of he's probably 7-0 against me since I last beat him, and that was in MF years ago. So I'll say Dan.
So Dan's the guy you'd like to put 30 on. So win by 30 on, I should say. So
yeah, that would be nice.
so we're around 17 minutes or so on the podcast. I'm going to leave the mic open to you now. If you want to make any predictions, statements on SML, any affairs in the SML, the mic is yours to say whatever you would please.
Just let's have a good playoff run and get ready for the draft. And congratulations to the future Super Bowl winner, whoever that may be. Hopefully it's QB. So my prediction can come true. Every time I've picked you or QB to win, you've done it. So let me stay perfect on that prediction.
Yes. I think it was wise not going with the Colts this year. I can't even say I can't even use that as motivation. I
don't want to because I think you. Well, I don't think you still have a gear that you can hit at any point in time. You can make the right decision, and Eason probably will tell you no, not right now. So
yeah.
That's the only reason why. So we'll see.
Stay tuned. Maybe Phillip Rivers will get his first start in of the season in the wild card round.
If you get a surprising draft, I can't say I won't pick for you. I can't say I won't pick a for you next season.
There you go, guys. That was the SML Nostradamus Woods. He's making his predictions as usual. He's taking QB stud over I got the Meats. Says Meats is not going to get the job done once more in the playoffs. We'll see what happens, guys. Thanks for listening, and you guys have a great day.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode of Prime Authority. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back with more updates from the Sim Madden League community.
Our true fans, they're beside us. We're beside them.
Until then, see you next time.